Hello, welcome back to the letter. We're just gonna keep going, continue, and all that stuff. We're starting with Marianne's story. 7:15 p.m. The numbers are so little on top of my screen, and they glare at me with such intensity that I can just hear their accusations. I'm late for a night out with the girls, yes, but I have a perfectly good excuse. Geez, considering I didn't follow typical office hours, they really can't expect me to be able to just go as I please at 5:30 on the dot. The client is, first and foremost, my priority. I have to sit tight when my personal assistant Chris tells me we have a big one coming up and that I shouldn't miss this one. He knows a lot more on the who's who and the what's what when it comes to these socialites, and I trust that judgment call. I don't really have time for rich people that drama in their politics. These sort who were born with silver spoons in their mouth and who were used to whacking their silver tongues about. I let him handle the negotiating with them for the most part. That's what I have hired him. They told me I received a message about an hour ago.
Now, if only he has the full shilling when it comes to the time.
Come on, I have a social life too, to an extent. Sort of. Raise my head against the table. I'll try to stave off an oncoming headache when the notification for a new email pops up. All I'm expecting is, hey, this looks like a good project I found. Go send him that design. Or something like that, really. That's how it often goes. Even with these rich, jammy clients who's heard of me from the equally rich, jammy friends, I can't expect them to hire me right off the bat. Which is all well and good and reasonable. We figure out what they want, send them my portfolio, my drafts for the project, my rates, and hope for the best. This is a big client, Marianne. I babysit Beruthiel for you. Just please take this one project. I promise this person is huge in Luxembourg. Mr. Parker, this is a formal request to secure the services of Marianne McCullough, hereinafter called the designer, as authorized by Hannah Wright hereinafter called client for interior design work at Ermengarde Mansion, Luxembourg, LX 18 ORF, United Kingdom. The client hopes to have the designer there on 21 October, Friday, with the time pending. As I open the mail and see that I've been requested by the client specifically. Well, I certainly didn't expect that, and it's pretty straightforward too. Anyone else would have probably been excited they would be working with the Hannah Wright. She's just one of those rich socialites that everyone loves to talk about, no matter how hard I try to tune such nonsense out. It would have been enough for me to reply an affirmative to Chris and Lee, but he had never pleaded for me to take a project before. We've worked with big personalities in the past, celebrities, bankers, and even a few politicians. My PA have been indifferent about those. So the question bounced about my skull before I spy one of the email attachments. Newspaper clipping from the Luxembourg Daily's business news section boasting the headline, Wright Enterprise donates $2.5 million to refuge. It certainly caused quite a stir back then. Apparently they had invited businessmen and socialites everywhere in the guise of it being some business announcement.
$2.5 million and an expensive looking party to boot. These people sure know how to throw their money around.
Yeah. Not that I should be so callous. They're going to do a lot of good and help community people with all those pounds. I of all people shouldn't criticize such acts, whether they're there for show or not. At the very least, I hope they'll be able to pay my rates. With the headline out of the way, however, I found myself staring at the picture that came along with the clipping. Because, wow. Here I am expecting a sour old woman in a blazer and skirt, but the one was plastered on the front page. The one that was plastered on the front page looked like she belonged on a front page of the entertainment section, or even, if I'm to be crass, as the pinup for a glamour. Okay, I'll be real here, a men's magazine. I'm sure she'll know how to rock that dress. Wait, her hair, her eyes, her lips, she can't be her. At the same time, she is her, only several years older. Looks just like, oh come on, Mac, the world is full of pretty blondes. It's just a coincidence. So did Marianne used to know her? So we went back to October 18th for Marianne. With a trick in my head, I snap out of it and reach for my phone when it buzzes, nearly falling off my chair in the process. Who else would be on the other line but the very people waiting for me?
Oh, piss. I'm so sorry, Cam. I'm on my way.
That's what I say. And I still don't move from my chair, face flushed and heart racing. I can only stare until I can will myself to reply that yes, I'm accepting the assignment. And it takes even more time for me to just close the image, shut down the computer, and leave. Even then, it has already burned its image into my head, no matter how much I wished it would disappear. It makes me eager for the alcohol and the company. Makes me eager for anything that can help me forget. It's a good thing that the nearest pub is just a hop, skip, and a jump from here. The Galway Shawl, as it is called by those who frequent the place, it is the only decent Irish pub in this country. You can pretty much tell that someone is new if they call it by its official name, the Crawl Bar. My home away from home ever since I moved to Luxburn. Well, that is when I'm not cooped up in my condo and working anyway. It has good alcohol, good company, and thank God, and thank God and St. Cecilia, good music. Crowd favorites like the Bothy Noise, the High Wesleyan Men, and Second Fusion Orchestra are often played. Not to mention the singing. I love singing. Anyone could just break out into a drinking song, and the others in the pub were just wonderful that they'd start singing along. And doing so while intoxicated is the best of ways to go about it. And it's a win-win as long as I don't puke in the middle of the chorus. As long as I can get home in one piece at the end of the day. And tonight is karaoke night. What better time than to try and sing all my worries away? And that's what my intoxicated brain tells me.
The ghost of guilt and sorrow remembers who I am. And in the prison of my heart, I was my only slave.
Really hope I don't get copyright struck. But drinking only reminds me of my home, and the thought of home makes me think of her.
But in the depths of my cold soul, I'll leave the burden and despair.
Makes me nauseous. It sickens me that the smallest reminder of her can cause me such grief.
I'll fight for what's worth fighting for. Forget the fear, forget the rest.
Of course, that might just be the booze. Any other day, I would have scolded myself for drinking so much.
I lied to the Lord, I lied to myself, I lied to you and everyone I care, until there were no more lies to tell.
I already have a client, and we'll be having our first little meet and greet in a few days.
Cowardice is easier than being brave, but at last I found the strength I lost to sing my love letter to you. 'Cause people can lie, but my lone heart beats true.
I want to at least enjoy this night, get over the hangover tomorrow, and return to being a prim and proper professional after.
That song was for Cam, our lucky bride to be. So give her a hand, Galway Shawl.
Considering the state I'm in, one can excuse my smug grin as cheers and applause rise from the pub's patrons. Because possibly off-key public singing aside, I feel like I'm on top of the world right now, and that's a good reason as any to build out in front of these strangers. With good drinks and good friends, there's nowhere else I'd rather be tonight, and I forget for a short while.
And that song was brought to you by Marianne McCullough, everyone! A round of applause!
That was so good! You rock, Marianne.
Oh, please stop. You're just saying that.
You know neither of us can hold a tune, Marianne. A toast to our shameless drunk singer. May your drinks forever flow and your notes be ever lovely.
If anyone deserves a toast tonight, that's Cam. Finally sealed the deal after 3 years, eh?
Read 'em and weep, bitches.
Kamala's diamond engagement ring gleams as she holds it up for all the world to see. She has reasons to be proud. 3 years of living together, and her boyfriend finally asked her the big question. Obviously, she said yes.
Don't get too attached to that ring or the one after, sweetie. I was wearing a wedding ring not so long ago, and look at where I am. But enough of me being a downer. Cheers to a happy engagement!
Of course, if something like her and his divorce were to happen, I'd be there for Cam. Just as Cam had been there for me, acting more than just my yoga instructor. I can't be happier for my friend right now.
Cheers!
Cheers!
Well, we both will be there for Kim, won't we? Her and I? Harna, it's been a real bad year for her ever since her divorce. She's such a nice person, even loaning me money to open a studio. She didn't deserve what her husband had pulled. She's smiling again, picking out like she used to. I think we've all missed our Japanese firecracker. You met in yoga class, something I joined to keep myself in shape and, well, honestly, so that I could make friends when I moved to Luxembourg. Clearly it worked like a charm. I definitely didn't have anything to do with the fact that I brought along my lucky D20 die with me on the first date. No, sir. Is she? I love this girl so much.
What about you, Marianne? You're 30 years old and you still haven't got yourself a man.
And you guys know I have a very busy schedule. I don't have time for that.
Oh, come on. That's a lame excuse and you know it. You need a man who'll take care of you and you need it now. Maybe some hunk who'll be your house hubby while you rake in the dough.
I'm quite capable of taking care of myself. Who needs a Mr. Right?
Hey, look at me. I'm Marianne McCullough, a lawful neutral cleric with 9 points in wisdom and 8 in charisma, but I can't get myself a date.
I mentioned Druids and demons once. They don't even know the rules or understand what the numbers mean. So is this. It's like another form of Dungeons & Dragons. And I certainly am not some sort of holy person. I am far cry from a miracle worker, and I barely have the willpower to fight off demons, especially my own.
Actually, maybe she isn't looking for a Mr. Right, but a Mrs. Right. Oh, my Marianne, we still love you even if you're in the closet.
That would explain some things. How do you know you don't have a ring anymore? Maybe you two can be together and I don't have to worry about my best girls being alone.
What are you on about? There's nothing to explain.
But the more I deny, the louder they tease until the other people in the pub start to watch. It doesn't help at all when Hana drapes her arm over my shoulder and leans in.
Will I be all yours then? Will you be making me feel like a woman?
I know they're just kidding around, but this doesn't make me comfortable in the slightest. So when Kamala notices my silence and Hana sees my expression on my face, they stop. When the awkward air settles over us, the rest of the pub goes back to whatever they were doing, though, before the whole thing ever happened. They probably won't even remember it when they wake up with massive hangovers anyway.
Sorry.
Me too.
Hey, no hard feelings, right?
I raise my glass, then smile. We drink. There's no need to say more. We're all definitely far too drunk tonight. Eventually, the fun time's in. It is a weekday after all. And with Harna being a nurse, she still has to get ready for her next shift. Cam also has a loving fiance waiting for her at home and really didn't have to make a fuss about having left some buns in the oven when she took off early. Really, I understand. I was the one who insisted, who was determined to get pissed drunk anyway. Moving to the bar, I sit. Alone at last. Oh, fuck. I haven't seen him here before, and obviously not regular. He hasn't said a word and just sits there savoring his drink. With his whiskey served neat in one hand and lighter in the other, it doesn't seem like he noticed me yet. Maybe I should go before he does look my way. Because he was pretty and he was blonde, and those two things plus alcohol never did me any good. Thought too late, judging by the way his flushed face and the dazed look in his eye. He's as pissed drunk as I am. But whereas I feel like keeling over, he looks like he's still ready to take the catwalk by storm. Really, he just has the air of one of those men who think they own the world.
Hello there, sexy.
Oh no.
Please don't stand up on my account. I already like what I see.
Dude, you're married? Please don't tell me that. Please don't tell me.
Fancy a drink? It'll be on me.
But then again, I might be pleasantly surprised if he proves me
Want
wrong.
some between the sheets? Sex on the beach? I'm talking cocktails, of course.
That chance. But it doesn't matter, we both know how to play this game, and there are two different ways for the night's end. One thing or another is going to happen. Question is, what do I want to do?
Oh no, that's fine. I'd rather order some blue balls or some AMF if you don't mind.
Oh, wow. It looks like he's about to say some witty retort, but stops himself and downs the rest of his whiskey. I order a mint julep, and he gets another whiskey, and we start the customary small talk. Of course, the saying, ask me no question, and I'll tell you no lies, goes without saying. We ask nothing about each other, offering up falsehoods to establish a strenuous, fake connection between two strangers at a pub, if only to pass the time. Whiskey, as I have come to call him, is supposedly 21 years old, single, takes care of his sick mother, and is a manager of some sort. Manager of what? I don't care to listen to the details. Meanwhile, Mint, as he has come to call me, is 29 and I'm... What did I say I was again? Oh yes, I told him that I was a professional chocolate taster, because, fuck it, if I'm going to lie about what my job is, might as well make it fun. It's a pretty decent chat between two pretty drunk strangers, and maybe it's just me, but we might as fucking well spend the tiniest amount of effort in pretending there's something meaningful in this meeting. Would have been nice too if it was just left at that. But during a little conversation, he brings it up.
You know, I've never been with a woman taller than me.
Oh right, she's tall, ain't she? And to think he might have been different from the rest.
Never have and never will, whiskey. Can we go back to the history of chocolates? Did you know that chocolate candy was introduced in 19th century England as a healthier alternative to alcohol?
Huh. St. Lucy was the most beautiful woman over time. She had men come from the four corners of the world just to see her, the pure light of her exquisite green eyes. She was so lucky, anyway.
No, enough of the history lesson. Come on, Mint. You know and I know what you came here for.
Now, not every suitor was gallant, and she was not fool. She had known that sooner or later she wouldn't be able to defend her chastity.
Come on. There must be something that gets you going.
Oops. So she had taken out a knife and gouged out her own eyes.
There is something, but I don't think you can handle it.
Impressed with her devotion, God restored her eyes and made them more beautiful than before. He had a peculiar sense of humor, hadn't he? Because that only meant suitors kept going after Lucy, and she kept her eyes and a chalice to scare them away.
Oh, I'm pretty sure I can handle whatever it is.
Can't Lucy help me? Let me turn away from sin. Help me with my own blindness.
My place isn't too far from here.
Oh, no,
I won't take care of you if it ends up being too much for you.
No.
And no one will be able to hear you if you try to scream. You sure you want to go down that road, pretty boy?
Wouldn't have it any other way.
No. The best thing about having my condo so close to the pub is the ease of access. As long as I can still stand and walk, I can make it home. Maybe I'll need help from a kind neighbor or two to help me with the last leg if I've really gone overboard with the alcohol. But I've always made it home. Sometimes with company. Of course, that always comes with complications, especially with the real clinging ones. But it isn't anything a good tip about stalkers that the building security can't fix. I'm always nervous though, even if this isn't the first time I've done this. In the first few minutes, when we enter the room, are the first few agonizing minutes where I try not to panic. Okay, Max, so far so good. Don't let him smell your fear under all that liquid courage. He'll leave sooner or later, and I'll never see him again, just like every other man before him. I could say to myself that the men I brought to my place were more scared than I was. Yet there was no fear when I looked into Whiskey's eyes, only delight. When he started touching me, I didn't even hesitate when I pushed him against the door. Roughness is to be expected. And as long as he sticks to the script, everything will go smoothly. We'll have a little tumble on the sheets, he'll leave, we'll forget about it. So I asked what I really wanted. I would have told them that I wanted a bed of roses, chocolates, and music, maybe an Irish castle. But all I really want is her, and that's never going to be a reality. That was my fault, of course, because I was afraid, because I was a coward. I would never hold a candle up to her. She was the light of my life, and I had to let her go. I can't even be bothered to the thought of her. Just the single thought of her makes my resolve to see this affair through wave.
Wait.
What is it now?
Yes, what is it now? Oh, thank you for giving me a choice. What's it gonna be, Marianne? To sex or not to sex? No. Wrong.
We're
no.
both drunk.
No. This is completely wrong because I know the dude. Luke went up. Oh, the thing with Luke went up. That's interesting.
And
this is wrong. Don't you think it's a bit fucked up that we're about to have sex and we're just calling each other by the drinks that we had? How messed up are we?
Doll, shut up with the ethics and morality talk. It is seriously putting me out of the mood.
If you want to leave now, Whiskey, I understand. I mean, with how smashed you are, it'd probably be best for you to sleep the night unless you want to be mugged. But I won't stop you. And this isn't going to happen.
Bloody hell.
There's really an achievement called Cockblocked. Of course, he's annoyed at me for putting off our night of sexual congress, but no means no. And beyond spewing a few profanities under his breath, he surprisingly simmers down soon enough. I was worried for a moment that he might try to force something. I'm very glad there was a choice here. Instead, he makes a show of fixing his suit and smoothing down his hair before making himself comfortable on the nearest seat he could find.
What are you doing then? You have a guest in your home. Put the damn kettle on. Dandelion tea if you have it. But I suppose all you have are those shitty tea bags from the store.
If it isn't for the absurdity of the dinner events, I would have flipped him off for thinking I have no taste. But in the end, I just laugh. All I got are cans of Korean ginseng and lemon balm, though. No dandelion. Without a second thought, I do wet the tea. It's 3 minutes to get the kettle to a boil. 3 minutes where we say nothing to each other. I mean, what do you even say to the guy I was going to sleep with until I changed my mind? I doubt he's in the mood to talk about the influence of Troy's, of Mallory. It's still unusual by the time we're both seated on my bed with mugs and tea in hand.
Just so you know, whatever is going on right now is a lot stranger and fucked up than the one night stand.
We are two messed up individuals by your logic.
Everything is messed up, if you ask me. War, terrorism, famine, poverty, loved ones and loved lost. Oh, this whole world is a cesspool.
The dead air is telling when it fills a room once more. One would think that this is the perfect time to burst, to spill about whatever issues that made us the fucked up person we are today. And it is, but I guess some part of me would rather not put the weight of my problems on somebody else's shoulder. It wouldn't be fair to leave that to a person when I don't even know if we'll see each other again. Oh, you'll see each other again. Sooner rather than later, we both pass out on my bed, mugs left forgotten on the door. When I wake, whiskey is already gone. A bottle of painkillers and on the table are the only evidence that I wasn't alone last night. Thanks for the tea, Marianne. Whiskey. So I don't even question where these are from or just how he knew my real name. I mean, you're in your room, so there's probably something there that could tell him what your name is. I'm just grateful for something to help with the hangover. Might as well. I have a job to do. And that's where we'll end this video for the letter. Starting with Marianne's story. From what I gathered so far from that, Marianne is in the closet. They made that thing about that, but it's very obvious later in this video that she did like someone of the same sex, and she lost them. Whether it means however she lost them, we don't know. And also, she almost slept with Luke. More and more I hate Luke. Anyway, hope you enjoyed this video of the letter, and subscribe if you're new, check out other videos, and see you next time. Bye-bye.